Hey guys, Savannah here, and today I'm going to be interviewing Raynard. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. And when I saw his page, he drives a street stock, and I'm pretty sure his number is 97I. So we're going to invite him. I don't know which one to hit.
Hold on, you gotta wait till he pulls it up.
Alright, so we're trying to invite him.
Okay, he's not on there yet. Just wait another minute. Just keep talking for a minute.
So while we're waiting, anyway, so everybody, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and get them ready to comment, and then we will go to those questions after I'm done with these, right? Questions that I have wrote down. Have a bit of a cough. Hello, James. Hello, Riley. He's here. So it's adding Riley right now. Connecting. Hello, Riley.
Hi.
Hi. Alright, so is this how you pronounce your name? Riley Raynard.
Yep, Riley Raynard.
Okay, I was just checking. And do you drive a street stock? I was just wondering.
I drive a hobby stock, actually. It's a little bit
Oh,
less.
that's nice. And your number is 97I?
Yep.
Okay, I was just wondering because like when I saw your page, you look like a street stock. That's why I was wondering.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm gonna get started with the questions. Is that okay?
Yep.
So can you tell us where you race and what's new for you in 2018?
Did you say where I race?
Yes.
We're actually about 20 minutes from the North Dakota border, and we also probably be racing a couple different tracks in North Dakota, like Minot for sure, I know a couple times, and Williston, North Dakota also, and we might be getting into some shows in Kansas and or Iowa coming just near the end of the race year. So
Nice. So we have a question from Brian, and hello Teresa, hello Brian. Okay, and he says, what is your greatest accomplishments?
my greatest accomplishments probably when I got the Ken Schrader Racer Award. I got nominated out of hundreds of people, and I actually got picked to be one of the finalists. And we got to go to Indianapolis, and we got to see the racetrack there and everything. And I won out of a very good group of people, so it was really cool experience. For the award, you just have to be you don't have to win races, let alone do good in them. You just have to have the right mindset and stuff. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, we have another question from Brian. He says, what has been your biggest obstacle?
My biggest obstacles probably like just learning to adapt and stuff. Like with how much stuff I do in the car, I do a lot of juggling around. I sometimes I'm using my hand to push down onto the gas just to make it go down all the way, and then I have to also run my hand control to the left of my steering wheel, all while trying to steer the car as well. So it's a lot of work, but I do end up making it work. So
Well, that's good to hear. All right, so question number 2 is, what tracks can people find you racing at?
probably mostly like in my hometown track here. I was also in Swift Current, Saskatchewan as well. That's up in Canada too. I should be going to about 4 different tracks in the States at least. Minot, North Dakota, Underwood, North Dakota, Dickinson, North Dakota. I'll be going there my first time. And then Williston, North Dakota, and there might be a couple more, like possibly in Kansas or Iowa, near the end of the season as well.
Well, that seems cool. So, Riley, with your disability, what special accommodations, I think, do you make to your car?
Basically, I have a sprint car pedal. It's kind of like a ring that goes around my foot just to keep it in there. We are looking at different options for the gas and whatnot, as well as the brake, just to make it all easier for me. But there's always going to be a tough obstacle for me to overcome, but I'm down for the challenge.
That's good to hear. Okay, Brian has another question, and it says, how do you stay in shape?
Basically, I just go around my normal day, just just wheeling myself around and stuff like that. And I have a job that I work Monday to Friday, and I get lots of exercise just wheeling myself around the shop and whatnot.
Hello, Annie. Hello, Danielle. And now I have some more questions, so I'm just asking in between the other questions. Oh, Annie has a question. Where will you be racing at this year?
Basically here, in Estevan, and possibly a couple other tracks up in Canada here. Swift Current, I went there last year. It was pretty good there. I won both races there. I might try to get some more there, and then like 3 or 4 tracks in, let's say, like in North Dakota there. Minot, North Dakota for starters. Underwood, North Dakota. Dickinson, North Dakota. Williston, North Dakota, and possibly back down to Kansas to race the Fall Nationals, or maybe possibly racing at the Super Nationals.
Okay, Brian and Annie both have another question, but Brian says, how many races have you won?
I've probably won about, let's say, 10 features, I think it's been, and upwards of like 20 heat wins, so probably around like 30 altogether, if you count the.
And then Annie says, any plans on the Boone Super Nationals?
Not quite yet. I guess we just have to kind of see how the year plays out and what we're kind of looking at for money wise, like budget. And then we can kind of go from there. Like, it was a little cheaper, a lot more cheaper actually, to go to the Fall National. So we might do that again, depending on if we can go to Super Nationals and whatnot.
All right. And this question is actually a really good question to me, in my opinion. What made you choose being a driver?
Pretty simple actually. My dad raced for probably up like 10 years at least, and I always watched him growing up, and it has always been something that I always wanted to do. So my dad got me a car, and away I went.
Brian has another question. What kind of chassis do you run?
I run Big Daddy. They're based out of Kansas. I'm not sure what city, but yeah, it's a Big Daddy chassis.
Annie says, how do races differ in Canada to the States?
It's actually quite not. It's not that that different. Like we have both national anthems play, and mostly everywhere we go, it's just a racing atmosphere. It's all the same, and there's always good people in the racing world, and it's always pretty close. So not much differences.
If you could race any one race this year, what would it be?
I would probably have to say either the Fall Nationals or Boone Super Nationals, or just any of the events around my hometown track. The racing's always good there, and we have such good competition as well.
Wow. And this one's also a really good one, in my opinion. Who are your racing role models?
My racing role models, number one, it'd probably have to be my dad for sure. I've just watched him, and I've always marveled at how he could win races and wheel his car. Like it was really cool, and probably someone like Jamie Johnson, just with how successful he's been and just a crazy amount of races he's won and stuff.
Okay, so we have another question from Annie, and she says, what drivers do you follow the careers?
Pretty much what I just said, like my dad and just guys like Jimmy Johnson, Steve Arpin, he's a dirt rally guy. He's pretty cool. I've talked to him multiple times, and just anyone like that, like that I've known and stuff. So.
Okay, Brian says, how do you interact with the fans to make new fans?
Basically, I just act like myself and feel that I don't really have to change my attitude or anything. Like people are just interested in my racing and my life and stuff like that. So it's just they just come and talk to me, and I act like I've known them for a long time. So it's really good.
Wow, that is very good to hear. And then Annie asked, as you give motivational speeches, are students shocked you race and chase your dreams?
Yeah, I get a lots of wows and stuff like that, and oohs and ahs, and it's really cool to see that kids, some of them look up to me, and it's really cool to see that they are really interested in what I do, and I'm just basically showing them that anything is possible, and if you chase your dreams, you can probably get after them.
That is true. Like, my dream is to be famous, and here I am. Pretty much. Brian says, who are your sponsors?
I have a lot of sponsors. We're just going through everyone to see what we got for this year. We might be lining up some sponsors and whatnot. But some big names are like Trent's Tire. That's actually where I work at. They're really good there. Trent's really awesome. Eagle Motorsports, Dart Services, my parents, Raynard Trucking, and who else? R&R Rentals. There's many to name. It's hard to name them all. There's a lot of people that go into this program and believe in me, so it's good.
So that's good to hear that people believe in you. And Annie says, tell us about your Ken Schrader, I don't know if I'm saying that right, awards and how that empowers you.
Ken Schrader. And I talked a little bit about that earlier, but it's amazing just to think that I went to Indianapolis, met all these amazing people like NASCAR drivers and whatnot, like Kenny Wallace, a couple other guys as well. I forget who they were. But it's just crazy to think of how many people they picked me out of North America, and it's just crazy to think that that lots of people look up to me as well. So
That is true. A bunch of people do look up to you. And now you're doing motivational speeches now, but who motivates you to overcome challenges?
I just try to push myself as hard as I can to overcome obstacles. Like I'm always pushing to be better. I'm not like the best in the world or anything. I'm always pushing to be a better racer, a better person as well.
Wow. Okay. I have another question from Brian, and he says, will you try for any championships or for points?
Yes, we have been trying for this will be my 7th year now. In Estevan, anyways. Chase down that championship this year. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. I try to stay as consistent as I can, but it hasn't been that way the last couple of years. So I've gotten a couple of runner-ups, and this last year I got 4th in points. So we'll see. Maybe we might go to a couple different places like Minot, try and run for points there, Williston maybe. We'll just kind of see what it kind of goes with our schedule. So yeah.
Wow, that is very good to hear because the harder you work, the more you get up there. Just keep
Yep.
fighting. Okay, Brian says, how do you help others to try and get started racing?
I always try to share posts of other cars and stuff, and if anybody needs any advice on racing or anything, I can give it to them. But I was just trying to help people out, and yeah, that's basically all.
And wow, that's very cool and stuff. And Brian says, what is in your racing future?
My racing future, I hope to race as long as I can for how long I can keep my strength up. Yeah, I hopefully multiple championships, but you never know. Even if I didn't win another race, I'd still be happy with how my future is going. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, be happy no matter what. As long as you have fun, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Okay, what got you started racing?
Basically, I got started in racing just because of my dad. I knew right away when I hit 14 that I really wanted to race on a hobby stock, and just I've always wanted to race from him. So just from watching him being my mentor, it's been really well.
Wow. Okay, Teresa says, do you race dirt and asphalt?
I just race dirt right now. I would maybe possibly think about getting into. I just think that dirt's so much more fun. Like you go sideways into corners and you can open your engine up, and it's. I just feel it'd be a lot more fun. But I'm open to trying it. So
Wow, that is very true. I think dirt is better than asphalt because, like, dirt, you can just get very dirty, and I like to get dirty.
yeah.
And then, How do you turn a negative night into a positive night?
Just go home and rebuild myself mentally and just say it's just another night. I'll get them next weekend, and it's just a mental thing that you have to try and get yourself into. You just got to think that it's just one race and on to the next, and things can happen in any race. So
Yeah, because you can always try again. That is very true. How did you come up with your racing number?
actually, a couple of different reasons. I have number 97 because I was born in 1997. My dad's number was also 98, so I just picked something that was close to that, and I got lucky, I guess, that it was 97, my birth year, and then R just stands for Raynard. My initials are RR, so you can, if it's Raynard or Riley, I'm not sure, but
It can stand for both, I guess.
yep.
What challenges do you face racing?
Biggest challenges I face, just trying to mentally prepare for it and physically as well. I try to stay as in as physical peak as I can, get a good night's sleep, and just because it does take a lot of my energy out, just from pushing my leg down to using my hands all over the place, and yeah.
Well, hello, Barry. And Ryan says, any late models in your future?
It's a possibility. I definitely want to try and get into a mod before I retire. That's for sure. That's just because my dad always raced an IMCA modified. He also raced a late model 1 year, so it's possible.
True. You can follow your mentor, which is your dad.
Yep.
What do you remember? What do you remember most about your first win?
Oh, the most thing I remember about my first win is when my dad rushed all the way from the outfield to the infield and seeing his big smile, seeing it uh, so cool. Like, it's that moment you can't replace for anything.
Wow. Ryan asked, what are your goals this year?
My goals this year are just to inspire people, just to show them that anything's possible. Don't necessarily have to get a win, although I would love to get some more wins. But I definitely want to chase that championship. That's my main goal.
Wow. That is a very good goal. All right. Teresa is asking like something like I said earlier, if you could race any one race, but she's asking if you could race any track, what would it be?
I would probably have to say Marshalltown. I just see videos of them racing with the street stocks and whatnot, and it's crazy how close the racing is there. I definitely want to get there, possibly this year or even next year. I just always wanted to go there, so.
That seems like a very good track because who knows, maybe you'll be a champion there.
Yep.
What achievements have you had in racing?
I've had a lot of achievements in my racing career. I probably have about 14 trophies, between like 2-day championships and whatnot. I have 2 Motor Magic championships. That's at Minot, North Dakota, as well as a Dirt Wars trophy as well. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool that you have 14 trophies. Wow. Do you have a favorite race car driver?
Uh, Not too much. I usually like to root for the local guys like Cody Shope and always my dad and stuff like that. All those guys are pretty big role models, so yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Okay, Brian asked, do you have any obstacles you have to work around so that way you can race?
Uh, Not really. I guess there's lots. Just the fact that I had to jog around my race car like with between my handbrake to the left of my steering wheel, and then also like uh like pushing down my leg on the gas just to get it down all the way, just to make sure I get the most power out of the car. Just stuff like that. Like there's lots of juggling around and stuff I have to do in a race. So
That is very cool. That you have it's always good to have obstacles, in my opinion, because it challenges you. The more challenges I have, it makes it better for me because I always have to try.
mhm.
These are questions that I would like to know. What other sports and racing would you like to try?
I actually have hockey. I'm really interested in hockey. It's basically where you sit on a sled and you have two picks and sticks on the other side. I'm pretty into that. We're actually going to a tournament in a couple months here, so it should be pretty cool.
Which win was your favorite and why?
Probably would have to be either this last year on the Tougher Than Dirt Tour when there's 30 plus cars here, and I ran one amazing race. Like I only messed up once or so, and that race is probably one of my favorite. Leading in front of all those fast guys is pretty cool.
That is very cool to hear. Who would you like to thank for the support on and off the track?
Everybody in my fan base. I have so many of them. It's crazy. And my parents and everybody who've supported me through the years. My grandparents, both of them. They're also amazing. Like I couldn't do it without them or any of my sponsors or nothing like that. So I'm pretty thankful.
That's good to hear that you are thankful for a lot of people and your sponsors and stuff. How when you started racing and what kind of racing?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Okay. How old were you when you started racing and what kind of racing?
I was 14 years old when I started racing the hobby stock. Still racing it now to this day. I'm 20, going to be turning 21 this year, so this will be my 7th year in the car.
Wow. I think that was very good to get to know you a little better because before I didn't really know that much at all. I just knew that you were a paralyzed racer pretty much. And
Right.
that was good to get to know a lot more about you. And okay, I think it's time to wrap it up. We've been out here for a while. I finished all my questions, and thanks for watching. And do you have anything else to say, Riley?
Uh, I'll just answer Teresa's comment there. What advice you would give to a youth driver? Probably just keep practicing. Like that's all you can do. Like watch videotapes of other drivers and see what they do. Try to pick up some skills. And just try your best. Like see what else you can do to help yourself with that. So there's lots of ways to improve.
Yep, that is true. And hello, Bud. And we have one more question from Brian, and I think it's a good one. Who does your setup work on the car?
My dad does most of my setups. He's been in a car for 10 plus years. It's amazing all the stuff that he knows. I don't know, not even a quarter of it. It's crazy the amount of stuff he does and works on that car countless hours. It's really awesome.
And Teresa says, good luck this year. And I wish you good luck too. I'm sure everybody else does. So, yeah. I think
I can show you my trophies up on the wall here.
okay.
You can kind of see them up there, and then I have a check up there. There's some more in my room too, so.
Wow, so you have like a bunch of trophies. Teresa has another question. And this is going to be the last question, guys. What advice would you give a youth driver?
Just kind of what I said before there. Probably just to just keep watching other people and see what they do, and watch your tapes as well. What you can improve on, what your weaknesses are as a driver, and just lots of practice and turning laps, and there's not much else you can do. So it's a really big grind. It takes a little bit longer for some people, but they always get the hang of it. So.
That is awesome to hear. And okay, is there anything else you would like to say live before we go?
Just thanks everyone for tuning in. And I hope to inspire lots of other people to do stuff in their life. Even if it's not my racing, I hope somebody gets what I do. So that's a very important thing for me to do.
It was nice to meet you and learn more about you. And thank you everyone for tuning in for my first interview, interviewing somebody else. And thank you, Riley, for letting me interview you.
Yep, no problem.
And I think that is it for today. And I'll see you next time. Bye.